All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Raw Talks, where real, authentic women have candid conversations with people that are inspiring, that are empowering, and supporting of everything women. We discuss topics that are usually taboo. We talk about things that are usually not spoken about, but need to be spoken about in the public. So here we are bringing you another exciting episode of Raw Talks with our wonderful guest, Aman. Aman is here with us today to talk about women empowerment in the lens of a male. What does that truly mean for males when they look at women and how can they empower others? Aman is an empowerment coach himself and he has a wonderful story that he's going to share with us. And we are all really excited to hear, Aman, your story. We are welcoming you here, and we would love to get started with the episode today by welcoming you. All my friends here as well, Caren, Linda, and Ash, and we all welcome you here. And we are excited to have our first male guest, Aman, on the show today, supporting Raw Talks. So Aman, we are looking forward to hearing your story. How did you become an empowerment coach yourself, and what special place does women empowerment have in your life, and what does that mean to you?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me, and especially to be contributing for the special cause. And my passion and mission has been and is to empower people. And the women empowerment topic is very close to me. And as you said, I would be sharing my story, and I'll start from my, a little bit from my childhood, how, the women empowerment topic impacted me, and then later on how, I became an empowerment coach. So I was 10, and my younger brother, he was 9. My dad was working overseas, and I'm talking about India. And I was in a joint family. It has been almost more than 2 decades. Still, I get tears in my eyes when I remember that, my uncle, he showed a knife to my mom because because he was trying to warn my mom to kill both of us, like me and my brother. And that day, because I'm talking about almost like 22 years ago, when, India, then, women, how they were supposed to behave. And even that's what I would also cover, that even women are educated these days, but still they are not empowered. So coming back to the topic, she decided to leave that house because, those days there was no phone, quick calls to, she couldn't talk to my dad. So she decided to live in the place where we used to keep our cows and horses in that place. And we lived there for 5 years. And, my mother said, you both are my biggest assets. You are my property. I don't care about the other property and rights. And that's why I take pride in saying she was not educated, but she educated us. She gave us the education of life. And from there, we start operating from the consciousness of love, kindness, and care. And so from there, I got that inspiration. Like, look at this woman. And like this woman, how many other women are suffering? She was not educated, but there are educated women, even that time. Why they were suffering? Because the culture has been like this. Oh, you're a woman, you can't do this. You're not supposed to. So I was being at 10, and I saw a lot of people. We had to fight, and I was lucky. Couple of people who stood by us, and that left the mark in my mind that no, I don't want to live like this. So I got inspiration to help other women. So after 9 years later, when I was 19, and my dad got sick, he had to come back to India permanently. And I was around 19. I didn't know what to do. I started distributing newspapers because my parents' dream was for us, like for my brother, to at least get some education. considering what has happened. And so what I did, I started distributing newspapers, and I kept improving myself. My teachers helped me a lot. They gave me good books to read. That helped me develop a positive mindset. And within a year, I developed enough confidence to start a tutoring business, just to be able to earn some money because my dad was sick. And so there was another point happened when I started teaching after so much the criticism I faced. I started teaching, and then I noticed the students were not confident. They were held back. They were stressed, and they were not clear in their direction. And after experiencing my own transformation from being a newspaper delivery boy to to be able to open a tutoring business, I was motivated to help them beyond their subjects. So there, the empowerment coach started happening. I started becoming that. So that motivated me to develop, strategies, the ideas. How could I make them, feel confident, and they could go, they could get the clarity, so they can cut down the noise and feel, follow their passion. And there I got the chance to help the girls, to help them free of cost. And there I still remember those lines. Still there is a trend these days. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Especially from Asia, that you find a girl or boy, you get married with the the IELTS bands, and you come here, fake or whatever marriages. I don't want to go into there. But the point I was trying to make here, girls were coming to me, they couldn't afford to pay. So I just told them one thing: you know what? Just listen to me. I don't care about fees. I didn't have sister, so I taught them for free. You know what? If you gain the band, so if you get the good education, you're gonna get the self-respect. Why? Because you will be empowered. Not only for your rights, you will be able to earn money, and wherever you would go, that education will be with you. And then, talking about those, IELTS trend, you get the exam, and it really happened. I helped, very, needy girls. I used to call them my sisters. That, hey, you got the bands, you know what? You will gain the respect of the world, and this literally happened. So that's how I played that role in India. And then how I improved myself, how I by discovering my gift, which was to empower others. I help others, and I got what I needed to help and support my family at that age. And then I came here almost 11 years ago, and the same thing, the same aim, I'm still on.
That is so incredibly inspiring. My God, I had goosebumps when you shared that example and that experience of your mother, being treated the way she was. I'm so sorry, but I want to applaud your mother for having the willpower and the guts that she showed at that point to really uproot you guys from that house wherever you were at, and to go and live in a not so friendly condition, to take you guys there and to live a life from there, but not giving up and not giving in to the pressures that she was facing. That is commendable, and she deserves a round of applause, man. That's beautiful, because of what she did is why you are able to do what you're doing today. So she is the purpose behind it, and that is why it completely makes sense that you are so supportive of women, and you ended up even going and supporting other other women as well. I thought that was very, very wonderful of you, because you wanted to give back, and just because it also speaks volumes, Aman, about the pain that you had, about your dislike towards what happened with your mother, that you wanted to pay back to every woman that you met, to make sure that they don't go through what your mother has perhaps gone through, or had to go through. It was at the tender age of 10. I can imagine how solid impression that whole experience must have left in your mind, and for you to be able to grow from that and do the things that you are doing is phenomenal. It's wonderful. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I would like to also ask you one thing. So, how is your mother today? Like, where is she and how is she doing today?
She's with me.
In Canada? Are you in Canada?
Yes. So she visits me, and then she visits my brother. He's in New Zealand.
Uh
So due
huh.
to pandemic, she couldn't go, and so that's well said. That's why I celebrate Women's Day, Mother's Day every day,
Oh.
and the most important thing is it starts from the home.
Mm.
If I cannot, when I say the empowerment, it doesn't mean that you, like people say education. I know education is there, but still I see the through the lens of others, that they assume that okay, that is not supposed to be done, like that can't be done by the girls or women. I'll share that later, like my experience about these situations at workplace. Yeah, she's happy, and then whatever I do, that's why I said she's not educated in the subjects of school, but she's a graduate of life, like the subjects she taught me. And yes, I'm very happy, I'm blessed, whatever. And then the other lady is my wife now. So that's why I say, if we all started doing the same, like I'm doing my duty, if everybody does the same, that will be the real empowerment. Like let the women do what they listen to them, and appreciate, honor, and celebrate their authenticity, and their beliefs and thoughts. Just celebrate and support them.
That's wonderful. I know that Karen has a point to make, but I quickly want to interject, and I just want to say, at some point, we would love to talk to your wife and have her take on how is it to be with somebody who is so conscious about women respect and women empowerment. So,
Sure.
how is that experience of hers? Would be a story to listen to as well. Karen,
Yeah,
please go ahead.
definitely.
I second what Falguni was saying earlier about your mom and just everything. I was, the wherewithal that she had to sort of buck the trend, if you will. Even though it was supposed to be this way and whatnot, she knew, you guys were her world, and so she left that environment and brought you someplace else. And like Falguni was saying, she didn't buckle and everything like that. But I also got to commend you, because you saw it wasn't just her.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of times people don't see that, or even though that it's not just her, people don't necessarily do something about it because, well, this is the way it is, this is the way it's supposed to be, or whatever, you know what I mean. All of that kind of comes into play, and I love how you took your mother's like you took the lesson that your mother taught by leaving and really applied it and made it your life mission, which I think is awesome. But my question is, when you were talking earlier about the sisters and helping your sisters with the education and things like that, how was that perceived? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how was that? Like, did you get, like, were there upset people by it? Because again, it's the way it's supposed to be and that kind of a thing. So you're doing something so radically different than the norm. So I'm curious to know how, before you came to Canada, how all of that was, happened, or like not even happened. Like, did anybody say anything to you, or did you just kept going? Like, what was that?
I'm just I'm still like I'm just I can say I'm just halfway there. But if you look in the history, anyone tried to do something against the odds, against the people, they were criticized, they were bullied, they were killed. So I faced criticism right after after I decided that I would start tutoring to earn more money. And then first of all, I got the feedback, and this is the message for everybody. I would rather share my wounds and pain, my struggles, to inspire somebody that you could do that. And so I was told I didn't have enough money. I couldn't do that in the tutoring thing. How could you help? And I was literally told, you're poor, you can't do this. So that's from this conversation, I would like to give the message that you're not poor if you have a dream, if you have a courage to follow that. And I believe it was my dream, and only I could see them. People could not understand. They labeled me, I was forgetful. Like, I had very short memory. I would forget anything after 5 minutes because I didn't have that passion in the things I was doing. I would forget. So then what happened? I started sharing my ideas with the limited thinking people, limited mind people. They would discourage me, and I would box myself like, okay, I can't do this. I don't have the resources. So a couple of lessons I got, as I said earlier, that I started reading the books. I developed that positive mindset. The first lesson was that, what? I see something which is annoying me, which is not letting me sleep. Having seen my mother suffer, and that time at 19, I was merely thinking about making a decent money to support my family. But since I started just, seeing the students and I heard their stories, I said, no, I really want to do something. So slowly, out of 30 students, I was just charging money from 20, and 10 were girls. And then I decided, no, you know what? I don't want to withhold anything. I think God will, has gifted me something. It's just a small seed. So I did face criticism, but I remembered one thing that, when I saw the results of the girls, that was my real motivation. That, one time there was a married woman. She, her husband, she was married twice. 2 times her husband died, and she was blamed that, she, wherever she would go, she would bring misfortune and all bad luck. So she told me this story that she was labeled, she overheard her cousin saying she will not be able to clear IELTS test, the English exam, and she will not do anything in her life. So she shared this story with me. That was like, okay, you know what? Please listen to me. I will make you, I will help you. So I still remember those words. She was on the phone. She said, I don't have words for you, because, she was 10, 15 years older than me. And she said that I don't have words for you because you proved everybody wrong. And when I heard those kind of comments, and I felt God is using me to, make a difference in someone's life, and doesn't matter how much money I'm earning, money is the byproduct. You can earn in any way. But I was lucky to have been given that gift where, of course, money is there. But the main thing is, when I hear, these touching, comments that my ideas or my help did this for, for the girls or for any other students. So that was the motivation that kept me going, not caring. Because I remember one thing, doesn't matter what you do, people will criticize. So why not to do because life is short. So that's what motivated me to keep going.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I had no idea about this the
I never
story
shared.
that and the strength that your mother, got, and just with her little kids, young kids, and no prospects of what to see in the future, and still she took the jump, right? Like the leap of faith, and she's like, I need to take care of this, right? Amazing. What is in the future? What do you see for women empowerment that you are hoping to contribute towards, other than your past so far?
So I have started coaching last year, and due to other commitments, I couldn't give that much time. But this pandemic made me a little bit restless, having seen the news every day. I know everybody's stressed, depressed, and anxious. And I especially noticed the young people. When I say young, I mean the students. Their parents took loans to, they invested so much money, time, and energy. Now they don't see anything. I know everybody is feeling the same way, but I have worked, I did some homework for them, but I'm trying to spare more time for that, to devote that. And you'll see some more videos or YouTube videos, or I am planning to go on more shows to, share those ideas. So because at the end, I also felt restless these days that I don't want to get boxed with my talents and skills. I want to go empty. And that's why I'm just, rushing through so many things I'm trying to get done, just because I felt life is short and we should help each other. And especially these days, you see the news, like, I hope, I always hope in the morning, okay, at least I get some, good news. But one day.
I really like your positive thinking though. It's like it pushes you forward, right? Like no matter what's happening, you know that you have to keep going on. There has to be a reason, there has to be something much bigger that you are meant to do to help empower the women and the girls and the students. Do you feel have you seen any trend or any changes in the last few years maybe that you feel that you can contribute to, or maybe something, it's a limited mindset among the students other than education?
Yeah. If I give my example, I like to give my examples, like how I was portrayed as failure, I was labeled, I was bullied. So first thing I see that, of course, the mindset. I have helped. I had some clients or at workplace, they are more qualified than me. They have literally got certifications. Like I'm a manager in a hotel. It's just my experience helped me to build my career, especially on people skills. And I was shocked to see they had their limited assumptions about them. And I was shocked that you spend money. I know you need experience, but you're asking me, but I didn't have any degree. I didn't have any certification. All I had, the years of experience, which I, tried to be resourceful with how I used it. So I think the first thing I would, encourage and I would work on, of course, the mindset, because these days people are trying to be perfect before they do anything. Talking about a video, or like, getting ready for a conference call, or even you, how can I, give the example that even you go for an interview, right? So the point is, if you don't feel well, like, okay, you are eligible, what do? You don't apply. So in my case, I saw that, like the light, I could say, or something, the spiritual, the vibrations I got. I knew one thing, that as I said, early age, I had that fire, that desire, I was gifted that vision, and I kept that, I maintained that vision. So I would work on, the vision aspect, that, once you have a clear road, like, where you want to go and who you are, it's easy. So that's what I would like to help them with, being, self-aware of their talents. And, I may be taking a lot of time. The last thing I would like to say, to everybody, like, don't try to be perfect in everything. That's how I started. When people label me, I would forget things, I would fail. I was handed over a long list of, I call I can't. So I converted them into I can, because I know, what, only one thing I can be great at. I just needed to find out what is it, and I just needed to polish it. Like, my skill, my gift. And that's the message for everybody, that don't try to be perfect in everything.
I want to jump into what you're saying, Amin. It's just precious to me. You said a couple of things that I've been really tracking on, and what you have done in your life, your gift, is to give people the belief that they can do something and they can become something. And what you're saying right now about not having that certification, or maybe not having those exact skill sets that are needed, and you tell people they should go ahead and do it anyway, because we're the experts of our own life. We don't need a certification to tell us. We know how we live and what we can bring, and letting people know that you don't have to be perfect. You can jump right in and go try it, because I like to tell people, you don't worry about what's the worst thing that can happen or the thing that won't happen, but what about what is the best thing that could happen? And you're right, opening up that mindset, because I've seen so many people, when I've planted that seed of belief that they could go do something and that they really have the skill set to do it. When I conveyed that to them and they heard that, and the moment they believed that, I visually got to see that play out within 24 hours in many of the cases. So I understand what you're talking about when you would work with the different individuals, and that you could see the growth that would happen because you took that time to not cast them in any certain way. You didn't criticize them. You didn't play down. What you did was you found whatever strength that was in them, whether they were learning a new skill or you were maybe helping them for a job interview, any of those things. You just had that belief, and by doing just that one thing and providing the support, they were able to get there. And so I just really appreciate the work that you're doing, and that your mom was a strong person that inspired you. And I can't wait to see what else you do.
Thank you so much for the encouragement. I agree with you about the belief. I have, as I said, faced bullying. So much of the criticism. Like you are 15, and especially at 10 when we were living in that house, and I was so shy to bring any of my friend to my home. And that's how my mom started, building the belief system of, possibilities, love, and, the love-based consciousness. And at the age of 19, newspaper, work and, tutoring. So what I noticed that, as you talked about doing it anyway. So the thing is, first, those years, like early years, we were just, like as a child, he's being fed with all kinds of beliefs by teachers. I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm just saying either they are true or like either they are correct or false. Let's imagine they are true, but 20 years ago, but time has changed. So that's why, I read so many books. I was lucky to have been under the the coaching of great managers, those who had great HR skills. And this is the first thing, I think the belief system changed my life. I have done so much work about it. I feel like if you just lie to somebody that, hey, let's good photo, whatever, at least he will try. And the world has been trapped into the comparison, trap. You know what? They wait to be perfect. And like in my case, I said I didn't have choice. I had to feed my family. I was 19, and I saw my dad. He had to come back, and at the same time, I wanted to fulfill my parents' dream, which was to get some education. And so that was the belief, because I confess, I would forget the things after 5 minutes because I didn't have interest there. Like when, I feel like first we make beliefs, then beliefs make us, our life. So I think if we, stop, if we keep rejecting, like deleting the, self-limiting beliefs, even I say like, let's try, let's fail. In a way that you're not gonna fail, you're gonna learn something. That's how anyone like who did extraordinary things, like if you look in the history, they did it that way. They didn't succeed in first try.
Yeah, I wrote down a few things that I wanted to point out. Number one, it's your purpose. Yes. That was the word I was, when you were talking about this,
yes.
You have to do, and kind of this is very obvious, your purpose.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier about with the hotel, you said you were resourceful, and about not being perfect. That's very, very. I have a shirt that right now that says "Be true to you," but you're resourceful, and I think resourcefulness is a skill. Is I don't want to say the skill, but it's things a lot of people don't have, because especially now with the internet, everything is so readily available. So people, you don't necessarily think. Everything is immediate. So because you're resourceful, even if people have degrees and everything else like that, and I think that's also why you're able to help people the way you are, and why people are drawn to you, is because of that. Is because you're real. Is because you're not saying everything is perfect. Because by the way, what is perfect anyway? That's a whole other tangent I won't go on. But you also were talking about belief. So, and you mentioned something just now about belief as well. And the beautiful thing about empowerment, but I think women empowerment is so amazing, because we can really be anything we want to be. And what is really holding us back is a lot of times, the most of the time, is ourselves. In fact, it's because we're fed these beliefs. I actually, just so you talk about reading your books and everything, I just finished a book that's called How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicola Perry. And in the book, she's a holistic therapist, and she was talking about a lot of the things from our childhood, traumas, or whatever you want to call them, things that happen in our childhood manifest then and kind of stay. So our beliefs start then, and then our limiting beliefs just keep going, and then we associate all these things with our limiting beliefs. So, you know, and you were talking about the mindset earlier. I'm very big on the mindset work and the personal development work as well. So to your point, you're showing people that literally they have it within themselves. And I think that's hugely powerful, because a lot of times we don't realize that we have it. We're waiting for external sources. We're waiting for these people to say, you can do it, whatever it may be. And you're breaking it down and getting down to the nitty gritty, and then coaching them and showing them and letting them borrow your belief, if anything else, and then sending them on their way. And you proved it because you've done things that were out of the norm already, and I just think it's so incredible. And I love how you talk about not being perfect, because the truth of the matter is, and a teammate of mine says this: you see the glory, but not the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a hugely important thing. And you know, you have the Canva and you have the photoshopping and all that stuff, and it's a huge passion of mine to be real and show who you truly are. But I think I hate to use the word authentic, but it's true. When you just stay true to who you are and who you know on the inside, and you're bringing it out of people, that will attract whatever it is that they're wanting to attract anyway. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. I totally agree. You know, whatever you said, we are on the same page, because, you know, talking about the perfection and, you know, the confidence thing, because if you see all the advertisements, you know, on social media, what is happening that they are, you know, they are making the advertisement to buy people into, like, and talking about it, sorry, I have, you know, so many, you know, points just, you know, while you were talking. So first thing was, in childhood, I saw one advertisement all the time, and you know, it's, I think, Fair and Lovely, and I hated that advertisement, because what are you trying to say? Like, you know, Angela Jolie or Shah Rukh Khan, you know, like, or any.
Would you like to share
actor.
what Fair and Lovely is?
Yeah, so Fair and Lovely is a, you know, a cream, like, you know, face cream, and they would say, oh, okay, look at that, the girl becomes, you know, they gets fair, you know, fairness, and before she was having dark complexion. So I was like, what are you trying to give the message to those girls who were dark complexion? What is your message? So talking about this, I was given modeling offers 7 years ago, but I declined them. Why? Because I felt like I don't want to be a fashion model. I like to dress up, but I want to be the real role model. I don't want to be a body model. There are so many. I want to be a real role model who could inspire those who feel, oh, they're not enough, they're not perfect. So I can help them, you know, to have those, you know, internal conflicts, to sort them out, because everybody is perfect and beautiful. So these, you know, I really don't believe in these advertisements. And so what happens? So people start comparing, and of course you will find something lacking in you. You will buy those products. We don't need them. We just, you know, it's internal process. And again, about the belief that, if I see, like, being resourceful, I computed in work, while I'm trying to log into the cell phone, I almost broke the other. I had 3 actually, the stands. So I broke almost one stand, and I am having this tape right now to, you know, to make it stand, so I could, you know, really share my insights. And that's the thing. If people, you know, like this, there is no comparison. If people are told, let's do whatever you want to do, if you fail, you're gonna learn. So there is nothing gonna happen if you don't try. And then perfect, like, you know, talking about the gifts, I feel that we all are gifted with something, but people are trying to be trying to be good at everything. We could be great at one thing and we can be good at few things we want to, but then talking about the purpose, so once we find our purpose, who we are, the vision, if I know where I am, I know where to go. And then about the confidence thing, I think confidence comes by doing the work, and it comes from competence. And I think if, because people are trying to be perfect and waiting for the perfect moment to start, they never start. So I think if once they start, so what they feel, they are doing committing mistakes on the way, but then they keep learning the valuable lessons as well. No failure, no lessons, and how can they reach somewhere?
Oh my gosh. So, firstly, your passion is so evident. You are an empath. I mean, we all can tell, right? He's speaking so much from that deep place of empathy, and you're completely understanding what the other person is going through, and for you to be able to translate that into your actual work is very commendable, Aman. So we really want, we wish you to keep up doing the great work, because this is fabulous, the work that you are doing. When we talk about women empowerment, and this is my personal viewpoint, so it is not, I'm not subscribing, or I'm not talking on behalf of anybody else, but for myself, I believe that women in our own self, if we have the belief that you were just talking about, like, nothing is wrong, or that nobody can stop us, or that, fair or dark doesn't matter, whatever those beliefs are, if we have them, and I think Caren was also talking about it a little bit earlier, if we ourselves believe that, then that is the true empowerment for a woman. But I definitely appreciate men, especially men, and we talk about women supporting women a whole lot in Raw Talk. That's what we are. I mean, the 4 ladies that you see on screen is an example
powerful,
of how
strong ladies.
Yes, and we all have the similar passion to support each other, and we thrive on seeing each other happy and succeed, right? So that's taken care of in this situation, at least where women are supporting women. But to see you today is such a delight, I cannot even tell you, only because it's so refreshing to hear the same things that we 4 talk about, from a male, and from that perspective of that understanding. We definitely need more people like you, my friend, because you are sharing some of the insights that are going to make this world a better place. It is one thing about empowering women, because they should stand for themselves. Truly, that is the work that you are doing. That is what you are helping people with. That you got to stand for your own self. You don't have to feel disempowered. You don't have to feel powerless. You don't have to feel stuck. You can change things if you want to, and you are installing those beliefs that they can. Right, and they should, and they very well could start now and not wait for the perfect time, because that perfect time never exists, right? So all of these things are so super important. So you are empowering and you are living the message. So it is very refreshing to hear your point of view. It's a good change. Good job, Ash. Thank you for finding us this really wonderful friend who could share such beautiful insights and experiences from your life. This is wonderful. I have one question for you, Aman. How do you envision? What is that one thing, if you were able to do, like a magic wand, like if you were able to do this one thing, what is it that you wish for in the world? Just because you're so passionate, I want to ask you that question and hear what you got to say.
Actually, I was trying to do this, but this pandemic happened. So, okay, I'll share with all of you this, but I was planning to do this. So, if you go to Starbucks coffee, average coffee, $5. So if you calculate for a month, $150. So I think you can, one can easily buy what is called Kindle for 150 something. So I was trying somehow, working on, to save money, and, so I could gift those Kindles. Or I had so many books also I gifted to the people who need them. I think that is going to change the world, the information. I mean, not the technological information is out there, everything is out there, but what I am saying, $150 or like a day, dinner out with the family or friends, you easily spend $150. And the first message I give, and even I inspire the clients and everybody, that why don't you, can you spend $150 on Kindle? Okay, forget Kindle, $10 every month, I think $120 a year, you get a Kindle subscription, you get one book a month, 12 books, and then as I think Earl Nightingale said, 1 hour per day in your field will take you at the top of your field within 2-3 years, something. So not only that aspect, we can live a fulfilling life. I don't advocate successful life, because a successful life may not have a meaning in it, and like considering these days. So I think people should invest time in reading books, and the good books, so they find themselves. So they then if I know who am I, somebody calls me stupid or whatever, they can call me, because I know why to fight with them. And then 50% people will be agree, 50% people will not like me. I'm okay with, because I like myself. So that's the message I would like to give, spend even $10 a month, read books, and know yourself. Once you know yourself, you know who you are not, and it makes everything clear. And remember, you can't be perfect in everything, and things will be easy. And after 1 month, they can see the difference. It's just $150 or $10 a month.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Thanks for sharing your journey and taking the time out to let us know your perspective on women's empowerment.
It's my
Honestly,
pleasure.
thank you so much.
It's my honor. Thank you.
When you're looking in the mirror, that's the person you need to support. That's the person you need to love. I feel that's the message in the end of the day. Yeah. So thank you so much again from all of
everyone.
us.
Thank you. Keep doing the great job.
Thank you. And same to you.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We keep doing
Thank you, Aman. It was great to have you on the show, and we look forward to all the amazing work that you are doing and supporting you in every way we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Raw Talk, where real authentic women invite other fearless women in to have candid conversation. Do you like what you've heard? Then we want you to like and subscribe for more content. We'll see you next time.